Tonight, one of the first fighters of the Muslim rebellion against the government in the early 70s, now a member representing Sulu, joins us to share with us the importance of the draft Bangsamoro Basic Law to implement the peace agreement between the government and the MILF. Congressman Tupay Loong, a vice chairman of the ad hoc committee and chairperson of the House Committee on Muslim Affairs. Good evening, sir. Welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Robert. Thank you very much for inviting me in this show.
Sir, now, to start us off, sir, are you happy with the results of yesterday's voting to approve the amended draft Bangsamoro Basic Law?
Certainly, yes, Robert, we are all happy. Not only me, but I'm happy to tell that all members of the House of Representatives representing Bangsamoro from the core territory, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Land of the Sur, and Manggigit-Manao, we are all solid supporting the BBL because we believe that this is an instrument of peace.
Now, were there any reservations, being that there were so many revisions?
Well, of course, in our votes, every individual members of the House are free to express their own reservation. In my case, I expressed my reservation with my vote yes because of the wali. Wali means symbol. The government of the Bangsamoro. So this is one of the major concern of the Bangsamoro Islamic Liberation Front, that the parliamentary system of government, there should be a ceremonial head. So I express reservation and I will take it up in the plenary.
Now, Congressman, you were among one of the early fighters of the Muslim rebellion, and in fact you lost your father-in-law in the conflict. Now, will the BBL provide now the solution which the current armed law failed to do before?
Well, with the greatest sins compared to the Organic Act 1954, I am very much optimistic that this might solve the problem. I cannot say absolutely this will solve the problem, but it will now depend on the ability of the leadership in case this will be realized once the people will ratify this Bangsamoro Basic Law, because we in the House of Representatives, the Senate and the President, we don't have the authority to approve this law. The supremacy of the authority of the people is the final arbiter to approve this law. But if you ask my opinion, certainly I am hopeful that this will solve the problem of the Bangsamoro people once this will be ratified by the people.
Now, Congressman, the BBL is a draft agreement between the government and the MILF. Now, looking at this, for the benefit of our people now, how inclusive now is the BBL once it is passed?
Now, you know, following the principle of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, the inclusivity of their policy, you will see in this BBL there is an provision, meaning even outside of the Bangsamoro core territory, if there is an intention by 10% to signify intention to join the Bangsamoro government, the door is open through democratic process. Number one. Number two, to show that this is inclusive, because as you know, there are MNLF, MILF, and there will be no MILF without Moro National Liberation Front. So we, the Muslim representative, we introduce a certain amendment to a certain provision to be included that the transitory authority should be with the participation of the Moro National Liberation Front to show that the inclusivity of the bill is really realized.
Now, you were mentioning about the opt-in provision. Now, it's seen right now as a major concern for Congressman Celso Lobregat of Zamboanga City and all the others congressmen from Zamboanga province. Now, there is a fear that the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law, Bangsamoro core territories will expand beyond the borders. Now, can you expound on this?
Well, you know, this is to respect the freedom of expression of the people. Now, the 10% will just signify their intention, but the local government unit will vote entirely. For example, Lanao del Norte or Lanao del Norte. If 10% of Lanao del Norte will signify their intention, the entire local government unit will be the one to decide. So if the 10% the 10% will be defeated, included. But one thing that I would like to explain is this is only intended for contiguous area. But Zamboanga City, you made mention about Zamboanga City, it's too far because Maguindanao is only contiguous to Lanao del Norte, and Lanao del Norte is contiguous to Zamboanga del Sur. But the possibility of joining is very remote. That is why there's nothing to be apprehensive as far as I'm concerned.
Now, Congressman, looking at the BBL, Congress has gone through it provision by provision. Now, how different or how similar from the previous ARMM?
Well, I will cite you one big difference, no? In the ARMM, we have the present system in accordance with the presidential system of government. Now, under the comprehensive agreement, we are going to shift from the present system to parliamentary system. So that is the difference. Now, in terms of authority devolved from the central government, it's to very far difference. Ibig sabihin, mas marami ang naibigay na power to the Bangsamoro government if this will be realized than the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. For example, the Bangsamoro government, we have the inland water to be placed under the complete supervision and control of the Bangsamoro government. Although these are still remaining very controversial provision because there are some members of Congress, they don't want this to be placed under the complete control of the Bangsamoro government. That is why this is one of the provision that we are going to have a debate in the plenary because we express reservation that in be retained under the complete control and supervision of the Bangsamoro government.
Now, Congressman, what is your opinion of some sectors who might say that it's not really about the provisions of or the BBL or the ARMM, but a matter of proper implementation and proper leadership?
Precisely. I think we are still in the process of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because we have not yet seen how they run the governance. But this will be a great challenge now on our part as Bangsamoro. See to it, since we are determined to fight for this establishment of the Bangsamoro, so we should be able to prove that we are worth to lead, especially in the implementation of this law in accordance with the aspirations of our people. So I think this is a matter that we have to give the Bangsamoro people the chance to prove that we are worth to lead our own people. If we can lead in war, why can we not lead in time of peace, especially in running the governance in according to what is provided for under this Bangsamoro Basic Law? So
is it in your opinion that the BBL provide better governance?
I'm certain of that. I'm certain of that because, the Bangsamoro people want to establish auditing system mechanism. That is to show that we, the Bangsamoro people, knows that the good governance, the criteria is there should be transparency, accountability, so that all public funds should be spent in accordance with the rules and regulations formulated by the National Commission on Audit.
Now, Congressman, are you optimistic that this will happen? The passage now, once it's passed in Congress, it will have to go through also the scrutiny of the Senate. Then once that happens,
it depends now on the House version and the Senate version.
Senate, yes.
Now, my little experience in Congress, this is my second term in Congress. After this will be passed in the plenary, then the Senate and Congress will form a bicameral committee to reconcile the version of the House and the version of the Senate. So hopefully, the Senate version will be similar to the House, so that it will not take a hard time for us to reconcile both version of the Senate and the House of Representatives.
Now, with this, how do we now ensure that there is actually equality and inclusivity in the BBL?
That's previously I explained, the Moro National Liberation Front, if you look at the provision, because there are two principal beneficiaries in this Bangsamoro, basically. The Moro Islamic Liberation Front and the Moro National Liberation Front. So, consensus among us members of the House of Representatives who are Muslim, we include a provision that the transitory authority shall be with the participation of the Moro National Liberation Front to show that the bill is really inclusive. Even the indigenous people, they are there to be part of the governance in this proposed Bangsamoro government.
And finally, Congressman, you were fighting in the 70s with the government. Did you ever see a time like now, BL, for this time, you as a legislator?
Well, this is my first time to speak about legislation. Because at the time, I never expect when we fight against the government, I never expect that I will be elected as elected officials. But because of our determination in defense of our country's national sovereignty and integrity, kasi nagiging kalaban din namin yung mga Moro National Liberation Front. That's the reason why I lost my father-in-law. Now, because of that sincerity of family in defense of this country's sovereignty and integrity, I was appointed by the late Marcos as mayor in our hometown, in the municipality of Parang. Later on, I became vice governor, later on governor of the province of Cholo, and now member of Congress.
So you're optimistic right now that peace will actually happen soon?
Everybody are hoping for that, and as Bangsamoro, I think we have to pray for that, because that is the respond now to the common aspirations of our people, and all of us Bangsamoro should be united, support the president, and we are very lucky and we are grateful to the president because he is really sincere and determined for this BBL to succeed.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight. NewsLife. That was Congressman Tupay Loong of Solo, member of the Ad Hoc Committee and chairman of the House Committee on Muslim Affairs. Thank you, sir.